preparing to live stream.
So we're live actually already.
Okay, then let's start. I guess I need to close the YouTube window, right?
Yeah, or stop. Anyway, there you go.
Okay, well, let's start. So welcome everyone. This is the Node.js Foundation Diagnostics Working Group meeting, July 3rd. And let's, first of all, before we go to the agenda, is there anything which is not on the agenda and we feel we should discuss?
I don't have anything to add. Okay,
then let's go to the agenda. So there is one item which we also discussed briefly last week. This was labeled in the main Node.js repo. This is the async hooks do not recognize the execution context created when processing the labels. And last time we agreed that it's not really clear what would be the action item, and I don't see any comments since that. So does the working group has any more context on that, or should we go to the next item?
Right, was that one where there was somebody who would have context, or we need?
Actually, I don't remember that.
Okay.
I checked the meeting notes from last time, and the conclusion was that we would need, it's not clear what we need to do.
Right, okay. Yeah, I don't have any additional context, so here, unless Dries does, we might as well move on.
Okay, then let's see the issues in the Node.js diagnostic repo. The first one is the seeking feedback on the diagnostic report tooling. So last time we had a presentation by IBM, and there is this new exciting tool coming which will be capable to process the diagnostic reports. And basically, the TLDR was that it's under the process of getting open sourced. I'm not sure if you have any more context on that. The issue didn't have an update since that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. We probably should have taken that off the agenda since last time. So I can I'll take a note. Discussed last time. Remove from agenda.
Okay, thank you. The next item is that is the proposal by Alexei around the inspector protocol. And I think it's on me because I should ask Alexei to join this meeting if he wants to do progress. So I feel the next action item would be actually for me to be sure that he's on the next meeting.
Sounds good.
Okay. Next item is the user journeys initiative. So last time we actually not so on the last summit, we discussed that we would like to make kind of a user survey to being able to decide what are the supported environments and the first use cases that we want to start to work on that. And I created an issue in the Node.js diagnostic repo with the proposal what the survey content could be and with some ideas how we could broadcast it. And I get some feedback from Girash, from Michael, and other teams. So really thank you for that. I incorporated those feedbacks. So the next step would be basically speak with the distribution partners and start to send out the survey. Just to be completely honest, I have never done a survey before. So I'm not sure that this is the good amount of question. Am I making the questions in the right way? So I'm open to any kind of feedback or you.
Right, now did we, the ones I've been involved in, we did through the foundation. So is this one where you mentioned the distribution partners?
Yes, so now you don't see that I switched, right? So you still see the.
Sorry, okay, I'm looking at the, yeah. Okay, there, so right, the distribution is Twitter.
I mean, hopefully the foundation can help us, but other than that, I reached out, actually on the summit, I spoke with Amma from Bookup. She mentioned that maybe they can use their Twitter, their channels, because they have an experience with it.
Yep.
In the meantime, I spoke with my old company, Rising Stack. They are also happy to use their distribution channels. I'm not sure what someone was mentioning that maybe NPM. I'm not sure what other options we have.
Right. I think we can go to the foundation and get help for them to actually run the SurveyMonkey instance or whatever it is to put it out there. They can help promote it, and then we can promote it, and I think you've got all these other ways as well.
So when you say foundation, do you have a specific person in your mind?
So I would open an issue in the user feedback working group or repo, because that's the group that has helped facilitate those.
Okay.
Like we did one a while back for benchmarking, and there's been some discussions, but never actually quite closed on some for promises and other areas. And back when we did the other one, they even had a data scientist who could look at the questions and give us some feedback on that front. So I think it's worth going there and seeing what we can get in terms of advice. And then still all the ways we can promote it as well is good, but that's a good starting point.
Okay, I assigned it to me.
Okay, sounds good.
Next item is Perfecto in Node.js. This is also a little bit stale in the last 1-2 months. I'm not sure if we have an update on it.
No, I think we need, Kevin hasn't been here for a little while, so maybe what we should do is comment in the issue asking Kevin for an update.
Okay, that's a good idea.
You want me to go ahead and do that?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm waiting for a token. Okay.
Okay. Diagnostic best practices guide. Girish, do you have update on that?
There is nothing much update from last time when we met.
Is this basically blocked because the user journey, or it's more like just there is no time to work on that, or both? Just want to be sure I'm not blocking you.
I wouldn't say blocking as such, because at least we have some actions that can be done on the diagnostic best practice, irrespective of how the user journey feedback comes in, and how do we shape those things up. But then waiting for that is also a good idea. At least the PR which I opened for the crash diagnostics, if some of you can have a look and make some proposals, or at least say looks good from your perspective, then that will make us work on the next set of documents if the structure and layout is having some consensus.
Right. So which is the one you were looking for review on? It's.
I'll shortly ping you the PR number.
Okay. Just for the record, that in a survey, we also, in the user journey survey, we also included some best practices related questions. So we hope that we will get some feedback from the community on that. Okay, diagnostic deep dives. This is also an issue which is kind of stale, but I guess it's more like a placeholder if anyone has an idea. We discussed last time that there will be more deep dives when we start to work on the user journey to figure out the ideal tooling and the current journey, but it's kind of dependency of the survey, so not yet. Is there any other topic that we feel we need to discuss?
I don't have anything on that, although I think per our discussion a little bit earlier, maybe this one's worth taking off the agenda.
Actually, I agree with that. If someone needs a deep dive, can always open an issue. And
yeah, like we can leave the issue there, but it's been on so long and we haven't done anything that it's just, I think, noise at this point, right?
I agree.
And in fact, yeah, it's fine to leave it open, but okay, I just took the issue off the agenda off, so at least it won't show up next time. People can always add it back in if there's something to talk about.
The next one is the async hook stable API. This is also a stale issue. I think we all agree that we still want this in Node, but there are not much progress around this. So I'm not sure if we can really discuss it.
And yeah, I wonder if do we even have a champion for that anymore? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, I don't think we have. I know Neil from tried it, had to fix it. They kind of couldn't figure out. I'm not sure what will be the solution, to be honest.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, I see Ali kind of stepped up as the champion, but I'm just gonna say.
Do you want to ping Ali on the issue, maybe?
That's what I'm just, yeah. So I'm adding a comment that says, "Oh, for robots, are you still able to champion this?"
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that way, at least if the answer, I think the answer may be no, because he's busy on other things, but at least then if we have no champion, maybe we need to take it off the issue for now.
And the last item is the async context formalization, which also missing a champion now. Do you know that if Microsoft has an interest in it, or?
I don't think he's going to be able to push it forward.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with Joe, who's doing some work on the promises front, and also on TC39, where if like we move this forward, we, you know, how would we discuss with TC39? But I don't necessarily have agreement that we're going to push this forward. So I think for now, maybe leave the issue open, but take it off the agenda. It makes sense.
Okay, I agree with that.
I'm just wondering whether the async context is all about bringing parity with the Chakra core engine, something like that.
I don't think so. It was like the async context formalization was around the concept, and there's a document and deck that put together a concept of some terminology and something that would likely need to be implemented in the V8 JavaScript engine itself that would let you more generically than async hooks deal with async context and propagation.
Okay.
You know, Chakra Core, I think especially since Microsoft has moved over to using V8 as their JavaScript engine, they're probably not so worried anymore.
Okay.
We don't have more items on the agenda. Maybe one thing which is worth to mention, that I am participating in the OpenTelemetry SIG meetings, and there are lots of conversation around the node agent. I'm not sure if I should share it back here or
that. I'd be happy. Would be interested in hearing it.
Okay. Yeah. So we are taking notes on the meeting, so it's easy to follow what's happening in that working group.
Okay.
But the TLDR is basically, there are lots of conversations around now that the general OpenTelemetry specification, because it's mainly driven by Java and .NET people, but simply by the nature that they are showing up and the Node people are not that many and not that active. So there are lots of conversation how we can bring our perspective, because Node is different than Java and .NET. So it doesn't necessarily be a good API, what is built for those languages for Node. And I think what will be interesting for the Node.js Diagnostics working group is that we started to have some conversation around the trace propagation in the process. So that's kind of related to the async hooks and all that kind of how to do distributed tracing. Yeah, that's the TLDR. We already have some code in the Node repo for OpenTelemetry, but it's not much. It's more interfaces.
Okay. So I guess one question would be, do you think it's important that more people show up from the node side into that meeting, or?
I think it's more like, I think it could be kind of an opportunity for us to champion best practices or kind of help us to form APIs. So I don't see it necessarily required, or just it could be a good opportunity.
Right. I'm just like, I've been on the fence, just busy. So like, if it's kind of like you think, hey, it's really important we have more node people there, that might push me over. Or if it's like, hey, you're on top of it and can keep us in the loop and help, you know.
So most of the conversation is really about distributed tracing and W3 specification. So it's really deep about distributing the tracing context. So actually, I expect that the actual node-related work will happen a little bit later.
Okay.
After the specification is stabilized.
Okay. So it sounds like, you know, you're basically saying it's not so urgent yet, but maybe at some point a little later.
Yeah, I feel maybe the propagation is the most important for us, because we are not happy with the current solution. We are not happy with the monkey patching. There were lots of conversations on the previous summits, how we could make it better. Yeah, I think that's where maybe we can learn from it, or they can learn from us. I know that if you use the async, not async, I mean, you can already put kind of instrumentation points in your library, which is recommended. Yeah, so those kind of best practices.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, basically, I will let know the diagnostic working group. And
okay, you'll let us know if there's a time where it starts to dive into that a bit more. And
yeah, also there are members on this group who are actually experts of this area. So it's, so if you can ask them to participate on that 1-2 meeting, which is about that, then probably that's the most efficient.
Yeah, I think that, yes, that would definitely be good.
Okay. Then maybe that's for today.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good week.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Sorry, do I need to stop the YouTube recording, or if I stop?
If you stop the meeting, it will stop the whole thing.
Okay, how end the meeting? Okay, thank you. Bye.
Great. Talk to you later. Bye.